with us for the very first time, we want to welcome you to our Win-Jeunesse opportunity meeting tonight, and we just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We are so pleased to have the guests that we have on tonight and to invite you to Win-Jeunesse. We are in this crazy, crazy time. None of us could have predicted 4 months ago that we'd be in this situation, 6 months ago that we'd be in the situation we're in right now. But I can tell you, it is a moment where I think many of us have stepped back and have said, Gal, is my life working? Is what I'm doing the best that I can do? Is there maybe a better way or a purpose that we can connect to? And what I can say is I had a moment like this, a pause in my 20s. My husband and I were both working. We'd finished school. We were so excited. I was working in the high-tech industry. And from one day to the next, there was a pause where I had a health crisis. And it forced my husband and I to look and to say, man, is there a better way? Is there something out there where we can put our health as a priority? Not only that, we were looking for multiple streams of income. And in that moment, in that pause was a time when I actually found this industry, my husband and I together. And we decided in that moment to say, you know what? What if we made a decision today to connect with the community, to connect with like-minded people, to connect with products that are absolutely phenomenal, to become entrepreneurs, which we both hugely valued, and to do something wild and crazy. And in that moment, we made a decision. We've never looked back. And I want to invite you tonight to just take a moment to pause and to consider that there could be something out there that could make a huge difference in your life. And I get to the privilege of introducing you to our guest speakers tonight. We have some of the most amazing leaders at Y.E.S. So privileged to know all of these folks now for the last 5 years. They're phenomenal, phenomenal leaders, and you're going to enjoy hearing from them tonight. So I'm going to introduce each of them right now, and then we'll jump in and get started. So first of all, I'd like to introduce one of our speakers tonight, our Diamond Director, Cedrick. And Cedrick has been an entrepreneur since he was 18, and he's been in this industry since he was 18. He's from Richmond, Virginia. He has devoted himself to a career of helping people empower themselves. And I first met Cedrick, I don't know if he'll remember this, but I met him on an incentive trip actually in Cancun. And I was super impressed with Cedrick in the way that he treated his team. Whenever I saw Cedrick, he had this whole team around him because that is Cedrick. He loves growing people. He's an amazing speaker, trainer, educator. He speaks all around the world in front of global audiences. He's an expert in internet marketing, and he's a man full of wisdom, kindness, and amazing humor. So thank you, Cedrick, for being with us tonight. We're looking forward to hearing from you. We also want to welcome Paula Pritchard, Diamond Director, to this call. You guys are so lucky. We have some of the most amazing speakers tonight. So Paula found this industry when she was teaching at Kent State and getting her doctorate degree. And if you can imagine, here she is on this career path and found this industry and decided to do something different with her life. And as a result, she too engaged in this industry. And she was the first Diamond Director in that company that she found, woman Diamond Director in North America for the entire company. So she's an amazing leader, an amazing entrepreneur. You will love hearing from Paula. She's one of the very, very best at sharing opportunities with people and having them engage and convert and actually take a risk on doing something different with their life. So thank you, Paula, so much for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you. And finally, our final speaker tonight is Double Diamond Samson Lee. Welcome tonight to Win-Jeunesse. And Samson has been an entrepreneur for 32 years. And he's owned his own businesses in real estate, in retail, in the auction industry. He found this industry in 2006. And one great little tip about Samson is he really was one of the founding distributors at Y.E.S. So he was here in the very, very beginning on September 9th, 2009. And again, he's been here from the beginning. He's traveled all around the world with Wendy, with Randy, with some of our key leaders, with Kim Wee. And he's got some great insights, having started when there was nothing at Y.E.S, having been able to see that glimpse of what if I took a chance? What if this company could turn into something phenomenal? And so again, Samson's going to share some of those highlights with you. All of these three have global businesses. They have hundreds of thousands of distributors around the world in multiple countries. So again, looking forward to hearing from all of them tonight. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Double Diamond Director, Samson Lee.
Hello, Katie. Thank
Hi,
you very
Samson.
much. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my honor and pleasure. I'm happy to contribute, like I said.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to hearing some of your insight and, why Jeunesse? For the people who want to discover Jeunesse, we want to hear some words of wisdom from you.
Well, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody, to today's Discover Jeunesse online event. Again, my name is Samson. Well, let me give you first the answer to Katie's question. Why Jeunesse? Well, for me, why did I start Jeunesse at the very first day of the company? A friend of mine who's a multimillionaire, her name is Kim Hui, she was looking at the opportunity, and when she said yes, I just said yes. Sometimes in life, what they say is opportunities doesn't come knocking. It stands silently before you and wait for you to recognize it. So at that time, having many businesses in my life, such as in real estate, in the retail business, I used to own 3 furniture stores. I was in the auction business after that. I made money and lost money. I mean, multiple times. So I've learned some lessons, acquired some wisdom. And I just thought, you know what? If my friend Kim, who's a multimillionaire, if she saw the opportunity, who am I to say, who am I to judge? Who am I to say no? So at the time I was in the auction business, I quit all my jobs and just to jump in Jeunesse full time. Now, to do this business, you don't have to do full time. You can do full time or part time, whatever time you want. But for me, I saw the opportunity. I saw the potential. So today I want to share with you about some of it, because if you really look at the company with an open mind, the mind works like a parachute. It works better when it's open, especially in today's circumstances. You will see what I see, and it's very, very powerful. So maybe we can move along the slide next. When I first started Jeunesse, we started with 5 countries. And now we are actually doing business in more than 146 countries. Now, having started in September 9, 2009, very fresh in the industry. I've had a little bit of experience, but not much. I just thought, you know what? I know the owners of the company, Randy, Wendy, and Scott. Can move on to the next slide, where I've seen them. I met them in 2006 before, and I saw their first company grow all over the world. And I just knew that when my friend Kim told me that, you know what? We have a chance to build global business. Well, I had that confidence in the company because they have been very successful in the computer software business all their lives. I mean, they have opened multiple companies, and they have made millions of dollars before. And they were actually, the previous company was ranked already among the top Inc. 500 in the US. So when they started Jeunesse, we knew we had the backbone. We knew that we have people we can trust that can, be an amazing provider. And within a short time, the company started evolving, working with some of the most amazing doctors and scientists in the world. And, they just fulfilled the vision. Next, where they really facilitated a platform, a business platform that could do business all over the world. Now, if you can imagine, when I first started, we started with the US and Canada, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Indonesia. And then how did we get to 146 countries? More than 146 countries was that we opened country after country after country after country. When we spread the news, there's an opportunity. Jeunesse, it means youth and anti-aging and wellness. That's what we're about. That's a huge market. Who doesn't want it? So in a very short time, we hit amazing mark. Next, we hit that $1 billion in sales a year by our 6th year in business. That's an incredible mark. And folks, look, if this is your first time looking at this opportunity, this is a serious business. This is a massive business that you can reap benefits from. So at that time, when we hit $1 billion, we just reflect back and say, you know what? It's been incredible ride. Some of the other companies who hit $1 billion in between 4 to 7 years are such as Apple, Facebook, Amazon, eBay, Google. I mean, those are the who's who in e-commerce, in using technology to grow. And because, the owners and also the field, just leaders just like me, just like Paula, just like Cedric, we worked our butt off to share this opportunity and the technology available for everybody around the world. And, the company did their darndest to keep up with us. And it's amazing to say, next, that we're able to, the last 5 years, do incredible business, actually more than $1 billion a year the last 5 years. And I will say that what we have done since the inception of the company, we've done more than $8 billion worth of business as a whole. So this is not a company that is on trial. Whatever we do, the technology, the business model, the products, it all working. So in a very short time in our industry and globally, next, we are ranked number 13 in the world in our industry. So it's quite an accomplishment. I mean, it's very competitive, but I would tell you, it's not about the ranking, but rather that because of the unique size of the platform in more than 146 countries. I think somebody counted 162 countries and territories the other day. We are growing every day, and we are working hard, and the company is working hard to support us in building the business. So, and besides that, we have great support in marketing next, where, what I am very proud of is that through the incredible efforts of our marketing department in headquarters in Orlando, Florida, and also in offices around the world, we are huge in marketing. Is the social media content, the website, the videos, the graphics, the support that the company gives is incredible. And we have huge events all over the world. So in a very short time, we were able to win a lot of awards, actually over 612 awards and counting, from all kinds of organizations that look at how powerful the marketing is, how successful the marketing is. We've won awards such as like from the Telly. A Telly is like the Oscar in marketing. So we've done quite a few. This company has achieved and is proven, has a support system to help us build the business around the world. So folks, in a sense, the company itself having more than 50 offices and warehouses around the world that's facilitating business in more than 146 countries has never been done before. We're actually the fastest company ever to be at $1 billion a year in sales. So now, this is a proven company. And all of you out there, so what else, Samson, right? Well, this is where it's my privilege to introduce the next speaker, because this lady, you already heard Katie talk about. I used to hear her name when I was very young in the industry as a legend, because with this gentle lady, I would say, she has a heart of gold. In her career, she has achieved hundreds of millions worth of dollars in sales around the world with her organization. And I would say that every time I meet her and see her, she's an inspiration. And I'm very fortunate to call her my friend. Please welcome Diamond Director Paula Pritchard. Hello, Paula. It's your turn. Take it over.
Thank you, Samson. Thank you very much. That was a great presentation. I just realized how wonderful it is to be on here with you, and you were here in the very beginning. I mean, I joined after they were like, in their, in 14. So they were like maybe 6 years old or something by then, or 5 years old. So, it's wonderful to be able to work with you. I get the privilege of introducing to you some of our product line, and it's pretty amazing, the products that they've developed. But let me start here. Next. These are the people really behind our product. We have some formulators here, but what's so nice about Y.E.S is that they have people all over the world to represent Y.E.S and train in these different markets. But let me start off, first of all, introducing Nathan Newman. Nathan, I give him credit for being there from the very beginning. It was his product, that first product that he formulated, that took Y.E.S to $30 million the first year. And he is known worldwide as a stem cell expert, and he's a cosmetic surgeon. He's in California. He's amazing. I just enjoy all the time I've gotten to know him. William Amsalog is a doctor that represents our European, Middle Eastern market. He does some of the best trainings out there, and many of them are recorded, so you'll have a chance to really get to know this product through all of his trainings. Vincent Giapapa, he's the founder of the Anti-Aging Institute. He's also been nominated for the Nobel Prize twice. His formulations are just world-renowned. He's just an amazing doctor. Donna Antar is also an amazing trainer here. She represents our North American market. Dr. Ma is our doctor that represents our Asian market. Martinez represents our Latin American market. Christian DePoe is a formulator of one of my favorite products called Revita Blue. This is a product that actually can increase the production and the release of adult stem cells throughout your bloodstream, which that's a good thing. The more, the better. So next, this is, take me to the next, yeah. This is an amazing slide, and the reason it's so amazing is because we have such a wide range of products. But what's so interesting about this extensive range of groundbreaking products is that they intersect with 6 different multi-billion-dollar industries. So whether you're using all the products, communicating about all the products, or whether you're focused on 1 or 2 different products, you cannot help but be in the middle of a multi-billion-dollar marketplace. And that just shows you the great demand for these particular products. Next, this slide really shows you what our products are about. They work synergistically, and we call this our youth enhancement system, because the idea of these products is to enhance longevity. So let me share with you maybe 4 products. Rather than take all this time to go through all of them, let me just focus on just a few. Next. This particular product is our luminesce serum. This is the product that launched, as they would say, launched a million ships. So this one launched Win-Jeunesse. This is the product that took them to 30 billion their first year. It's formulated by Dr. Nathan Newman, and it is our cellular rejuvenation serum. People know that it works, but let me explain in an elementary way why. You and I communicate through words, but our cells communicate through chemicals. And when you're young, you have an abundance of chemicals, so your cells are communicating to one another quite efficiently. In fact, if you cut yourself, if you break a bone when you're a child, you heal rather quickly. But as you get older, these chemicals are depleted. So you might have all the cells to do all the work, but they're not necessarily talking to one another. What Dr. Newman was able to do is he was able to extract these chemicals from stem cells, from adult stem cells. He discarded the stem cells, and then he multiplied the chemicals. Another word for these chemicals are growth factors. And what he was able to do is multiply them so that a product like this has over 200 different chemicals in it. And we all have these same chemicals in our body, so they work on all of our skin types. But this particular product is 86% active ingredients. If you ever go to a cosmetic counter and you're looking at some great products and asking, how much of this is active ingredients, it's just a smidgen. To have 86% is just groundbreaking. But what happens is when you put this on your skin, all of a sudden it puts the communication factor back in the skin. So your cells can start talking to one another like they did when you were a teenager. So the results can be pretty dramatic. It takes about 30 to 90 days, but you can see with some of these pictures and some of the clinical tests that have been done, it's very, very impressive. And there's no question when you get on this product, why this product actually took Win-Jeunesse to 30 million their first year. The formulation that Newman uses, he calls it APT200, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. Next. With that same formulation, he created an entire luminesce line that consists of night cream, of skin brightener, of daily moisturizer, a mask, body lotion, and he's even got a cleanser. This All But the Cleanser has this APT 200, and I'm going to tell you it makes all the difference. But this product line is extremely popular throughout the world with Jeunesse. Next. Our most popular product of our entire product line is this little product called Reserve. This is a single serving, this packet. And as you can see, Jeunesse has sold 1 billion packets of Reserve. I can totally understand why. Next. The reason is Reserve is an antioxidant. You might have heard of antioxidants. Resveratrol is the main ingredient in Reserve. Resveratrol is one of the top antioxidants in the world. If you would Google resveratrol, I think you'd be pretty impressed with that particular ingredient. What, you know, for those of you that are not familiar with the antioxidant is what you use to help fight against oxidation. And people say, well, what do you mean oxidation? Well, when you live in an oxygen-rich world like we live in, you oxidize. Oxidize is another word for rust. Now, we don't actually rust, but our cells do oxidize. And in order to fight that or help protect the cells, we need it to antioxidize, or we need an antioxidant. And that's why they're so important, because they have related to oxidation a lot of degenerative diseases, like even arthritis. So consequently, you want to have an antioxidant in your life, and you want to be taking it. This just happens to be one that I think is superior. Next. Our AM/PM product was formulated by Dr. Giampapa. This is the man I mentioned that had been nominated for the Nobel Prize. This is his formulation. And if you go to the next slide, it'll show you just how many ingredients are in each of these bottles. There's over 70 essential vitamins and key minerals in AM, and 77 key nutrients and proprietary blends in the PM. I can tell you I wouldn't go a day without taking this product. What I do feel on the AM is I feel alert, I feel energy. On the PM, you sleep like a baby. I've never experienced anything like it. But this product is incredible, and I would recommend it. One of the first products that anyone should be on when they're with Jeunesse. So that gives you kind of an idea of just a glimpse of the product line and what a cutting edge product line it is. I want to introduce one more next, which is our latest product. And the reason I want to introduce this is just to show you how timely Jeunesse is. You know, Jeunesse was focused on stem cell technology because they know that stem cell is the future. They know that that technology is going to change lives dramatically. And to be on the cutting edge with cutting edge products in that area just puts us a cut ahead. But this particular product just shows you how Jeunesse can pivot in the middle of a pandemic like we experience now. Well, right now, people are trying to get their hands on bacterial anti-sanitizers. And if you go to the next slide, this shows you a little bit of what this product is about. Jeunesse bought an aloe company or acquired an aloe company so that they could formulate a product like this and other ones, because aloe vera is just an unbelievable product. And this happens to, I happen to have one in my hands here. It is made without parabens, aluminum, dyes, fragrance, sulfates, and many other things that you want to make sure you don't have in your product. And what is so nice about this is, you know how sanitizers happen to dry out your hands? This one helps keep your hands soft because of the aloe vera. So I hope this gives you an idea not only how far Jeunesse is on the cutting edge and how they're leading in that market, but how quick they are to pivot to whatever the demands are that people need right now. And this is a perfect example. So next, what I'd like to do though, is if you have a product geared for the future, you need a compensation plan, a way to make money, a compensation plan that matches, that's just as equal to the product. And I'd like to introduce somebody who I've become really good friends with, and someone who I can remember when Cedrick first came to Jeunesse. He was a very successful man and very successful network marketer. I thought he was a rock star. I mean, people followed him everywhere. But the more you get to know him, how kind he is, how caring he is, and how funny he is, you're going to love him too. So with that, I'd like to welcome or introduce you to Cedrick Harris, Diamond Director.
Hey, Paula, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that great introduction. I want to welcome everybody to this portion of the presentation here. Super duper shout out to my good friend and business partner, Mr. Samson Lee, for doing a great job and breaking down the introduction of Y.E.S and what Y.E.S is all about, as well as Paula doing such a great job in breaking down the product line. Now, it's my job to talk about the moolah, the money, one of the main reasons why so many of you are here today, and we're going to get right into it. So next slide, please.
Hey, Cedrick, your video is actually not on.
My video's not on?
Yes.
Well, it is on now. Can you see me now? Am I good to go now?
Yes, we can. You're good to go.
Awesome. All righty there. So let's talk about the Y.E.S opportunity and what this opportunity truly is all about and how it could change your life. You know, one of the benefits of this opportunity is not only that you saw that we've already done billions of dollars in sales all over the world. You see the phenomenal product line that we had. You know, Paula broke down a handful of products. We have over 20 plus different products all over the world, but we have a very, very unique way of delivering these products to the end user that we want to get very, very specific about at this current moment. Next slide, please. So let's talk to you about where it all starts off. First of all, one of the beauties of our compensation plan is that you can be looking at this presentation currently right now in Brazil. You can be looking at it in Canada. You can be in the beautiful country of Texas. You can be in Miami, Florida. You can be in Ecuador. You can be in any of the 100 plus different countries around the world that we're currently doing business in. And because of the power of the internet, you can literally be in one city or one country and have distributors and or customers all over the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, since we're really truly talking about compensation, let's think about what the great Warren Buffett said a long time ago. He said that you're really truly not making money until you're making money when you're sleeping. So currently right now, as we're conducting this live, it's 8:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A lot of people are going to see this as a recording, but it might be 3 o'clock in the morning in another country. It might be 1 o'clock in the afternoon in another country. And I want you to think about this. You could be literally building a business, and while you're sleeping, your business is still growing because of something that you decided to start tonight that really truly started to snowball over time. Next slide, please. Now that snowball can get extremely sexy because of the way we actually distribute these products. See, Y.E.S truly understands that the best form of marketing is word of mouth marketing. So let's think about this. We live in the days and times of YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all these different ways to be able to share things, right? And maybe you went to go see a great movie, probably not recently, but you posted it on Facebook or you posted it on social media somewhere, and a friend of yours went to go see that movie based on your recommendation. Well, Paramount Pictures didn't send you a check. Maybe you referred someone to your car repair guy. Your neighbor came over to you and said, hey, who works on your brakes? And you said, Johnny at Advanced Auto down the street. And they went to go see Johnny at Advanced Auto based on your recommendation. However, Johnny probably didn't send you a check. This is word of mouth marketing. And this is the best form of marketing known to man. And this is how we distribute all of our products all over the world. Next slide, please. Now, the cool thing about this, when you sit back and you think about this, instead of us using traditional marketing, we're using network marketing. Now, when you think about traditional marketing, Y.E.S decided, listen, we're not going to pay a comedian. We're not going to pay an actor. We're not going to pay some sort of rock star millions of dollars to talk about our products and then hope that people come and purchase those products. You see, a lot of companies are literally dealing on hope. They're dealing on hope. So let's think about this for a second. You look at your automatic income reducer right now, AKA your television. And as you're looking at your automatic income reducer, AKA your television, you see a athlete or a comedian that's talking about a product. And that particular company is hoping that you're going to purchase that product because maybe you like that athlete or you like that comedian or whatever the case may be. On the other hand, with Y.E.S, we're actually using direct sales network marketing, whereas we're not spending one single dollar. The company isn't spending one single dollar until that customer is actually acquired. Totally opposite of what traditional companies do, and one of the reasons why we have grown so fast. Next slide, please. Now, when we compound that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna pay you 6 different ways. 6 different ways. Now, there's a lot of people right now that might currently have a job right now, and maybe you get paid one way. You get paid a salary, or you get paid hourly, and then maybe you work some overtime and you get paid a little bit more. So maybe you get paid 2 different ways, or maybe they send you a bonus. Maybe on Thanksgiving they send you a turkey, or maybe they forget to send you a turkey. I'm not sure, okay? But inside of Y.E.S, we're gonna pay you 6 different ways. Now, I get a little excited when I start to talk about this, so please truly bear with me, because a lot of people have never gotten paid 6 different ways, and we wanna tell you how sexy that is. So next slide. First way that you get paid inside of Y.E.S is through customer acquisition. Okay, through customer acquisition. So you've seen the products that we have here at Y.E.S, phenomenal product line, dealing in a multi-billion dollar industry. I remember the very first time when I looked at Y.E.S, it was something that I literally could not deny. And let me tell you why I couldn't deny it. One of my first mentors taught me a long time ago. He said, Cedrick, if you truly want to make money in life, you find a lane that people are already spending money in, and you take a toll booth and you stick it in that lane. You find a lane that people are already spending money in, and you take a toll booth and you spin it in that, and you put it in that lane. So I want you to think about the skincare lane. People are already spending money in that lane. You think about the hair care lane. They're already spending money in that lane. You think about the energy drink lane. They're already spending money in that lane. You think about the weight loss lane. They're already spending money in that lane. Regardless of what decision that you decide to make tonight, people are gonna already spend billions of dollars a year. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna pay you a percentage of every single customer that you acquire, whether you acquire that customer face-to-face, whether you acquire that customer through text messaging, whether you acquire that customer while sitting in a coffee shop, while you acquire that customer while doing a Zoom, while you do it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it. However you acquired that customer, we're gonna pay you a percentage of that sale each and every single week. Now I want you to think about, who do you know that has a face? I know it might take you a while to figure that out. Who do you know that has a face? You thought of a couple people? Awesome. Who do you know that might want to shave off a few pounds to get their sexy back? Maybe you remember 2 or 3 people. Who do you know that has a throat? I want you to think about all these people, right? And the products that we have, and the fact that you're able to acquire these people as customers all over the world, not just in your neighborhood, not just in your backyard, all over the world. Next slide, please. Now, the next way that we're gonna pay you is with our dual commissions, okay? We call this team commission. Some people call it a left team, some people call it a right team, some people call it a strong leg, weak leg, orthopedic leg, leg with no decap, call it whatever you want. We're gonna call it 2 teams. Every single person inside of Y.E.S is only simply building 2 teams. Everybody say 2, just 2. I know I'm putting up the peace sign, but just say 2 teams. So whoever invited you to the Zoom here this evening is building 2 teams. Now, here's how this works. Every product that we have has a point value attached to it. Whether it's 20 points, 50 points, 80 points, 100 points, 200 points, every product has a point value attached to it. Every distributor kit has a point value attached to it. So here's what happens. When you accumulate 300 points on one team and 600 points on the other team, what the computer does is the computer looks down and says, we owe you $35. 300 points on the left team, 600 points on the right team, 600 points on the left team, 300 points on the right team, vice versa. It doesn't matter. As soon as you acquire 300 on one side and 600 on the other, the computer says, we owe you $35. Now, here's where it gets really sexy at. Now, it does not matter where those points come from, whether they came from you personally or they came from the person that is put you on this Zoom here this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever it may be, where you are located today. So if you decide to meditate, pacificate, procrastinate, for my English majors, I know that second word wasn't a word, just bear with me. Whatever you decide to do, it could be the difference between points being placed below you or points being placed above you. So you probably do not want to hesitate. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, hold on, $35. Did they actually put me on a Zoom to teach me how to make $35? Remember, I told you that we get paid 6 different ways. Now, first of all, we at Y.E.S Global, we do not guarantee any income whatsoever. If you want to see the average income of any distributors inside of Y.E.S Global, feel free to go to YESglobal.com and click on income disclaimer. Now that we got that information out of the way, you are able to cycle up to 750 times in a week in this portion of the compensation plan. Yes, you can cycle 750 times in a week And this portion of the compensation plan, that's 750 times 35. That's the maximum, okay? Remember, we get paid 6 different ways. I'm only talking about one at the current moment. Now, I don't have a calculator handy. I've been doing this for a little while. I'm sure you might have a calculator handy. Feel free to see what that number is. And if you sleep good tonight, I'm not sure why. Next slide, please. Now, here is one of the most explosive ways to get paid inside of Jeunesse. It's what we call our matching bonuses. Now, when you have a matching bonus inside of a compensation plan, ladies and gentlemen, your team can get crazy and so can your income. Here's what I mean. Let's say that you go out and you enroll Johnny, right? And in the previous slide, we talked about the cycle bonuses. So let's say in this example, and keep in mind, I'm just giving an example. This is not any guarantee of any income whatsoever. So let's say Johnny goes out, and in this example, Johnny makes $5,000 in a month and you enroll Johnny. Okay, if you look at level 1, you would make 20% of that check. Johnny keeps his $5,000, but because you enrolled Johnny, you would make a 20% check match or a $1,000 check match. Now let's say Johnny goes out and enrolls Sarah. Sarah's on your level number 2. Let's say Sarah goes out and makes $5,000 in cycle bonuses. You would make 15% commission or a $750 check match. Let's say Sarah knows Maria in Brazil, and Maria gets really excited and she goes to one of our major events at our very own arena in Brazil, and she says, oh my goodness, I'm gonna blow this up. And Maria goes out and she makes $5,000 in a month in this example. You would make a 10% check match, which is $500 and a check match. Now, you might not even know Maria. You might not even speak Portuguese, but don't you love you some Maria? You're sending her Otis Spunkmeyer cookies and thank you cards, and you can't even speak her language. You love you some Maria. You're sitting back, go Maria, go. Now, level 4, we pay you 5%, level 5, 5%, and we pay that through 7 levels. And that is unlimited, ladies and gentlemen. So as wide as you go out and introduce people to Jeunesse, that check match, 20%, 15%, 10%, 5, 5, 5, and 5, and it can get absolutely explosive. Now, don't forget, you might be looking at this in China. You might be looking at this in Brazil. You might be looking at this in Venezuela. You might be looking at this in Iceland. You might be looking at this in America or Canada. That check match spreads all 160 plus countries that Samson was talking about earlier. How sexy is that? But in case you were wondering, it gets a little better. Next slide, please. Here's how it gets better. Remember earlier I said, who do you know that has a face? Who do you know that has a throat? Who do you know that might want to get their sexy back? Remember all those great products that Paula was talking about earlier? Feel free to go out and acquire 5 customers, just 5. 5 people that you know that have a face, 5 people that you know that have a throat, 5 people that you know that want to get their sexy back, 5 people that you know that might want to shave off a few pounds, 5 people that want to make sure that their, stem cells are really getting strong, right? Just 5 people, whether it's through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, text messaging, face-to-face, Zoom, coffee shop, whatever the case may be. Go out and get 5 customers, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to increase your check match from 20% to 25%. But Cedrick, I know more than 5 people. Sure you do. Go out there and get 10 customers, and we're going to increase that check match from 25% to 30%. How sexy is that? Now, when was the last time that you were able to go to your JOB and basically go out and just acquire a few more customers and they just gave you a raise? Think about how many times maybe you have brought in new customers for your company, some on purpose and some by accident, and they gave you a raise. We're going to give you a raise for doing something that you naturally do anyway, but it gets a little better. Next slide. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Now, here's how it gets better. Not only do we want you to look younger and feel younger, not only do you have the opportunity to participate in a company that is not up for trial, a company that has already done billions of dollars in sales. Not only do we want you to partner up with some of the best doctors in the world, not only do we want you to have the opportunity to have a business with the best owners, without a doubt, unequivocally, hands down, inside of the network marketing arena, period, end of story. And in the words of a couple of my friends, period T, we also want you to be able to travel the world. We want to reward your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I wonder if we are in the wellness arena, if we're in the skincare arena, or if we are in the lifestyle arena. Because Win-Jeunesse Trips, there is no other company on planet Earth, plus Venus, plus Pluto, inside the entire direct selling arena that does trips like Win-Jeunesse. As a matter of fact, check out this next slide here. Think about this for a second. In 2019, we sent close to 20,000 people on free trips around the world. There's just some of the examples that you see there in this slide, whether it was Switzerland, whether it's Athens, whether it's Mediterranean cruises. I mean, we are actually the only company in the history of mankind that has ever bought out the entire Four Seasons Bora Bora twice. Now, in case you were wondering how much that cost, feel free to pick up the phone and call up the Four Seasons Bora Bora, and it'll give you an idea of the type of events that we do here at Win-Jeunesse. I can only imagine what they thought when Carolyn called and said, we want to buy out the whole entire resort for a whole week for our leaders. Everything that happens here, it's all Win-Jeunesse related. The whole entire resort, every bungalow on the water. We literally owned all the dolphins, we owned all the fish, we owned all the clams for a whole week. How cool is that? So how would you like to be able to take trips for your favorite four-letter word while you're looking younger, while you're feeling younger, and at the same time, while you're making life-changing income? But it still gets a little better. Next slide, please. You might be thinking, well, how can it get better? Well, one of the top ranks inside of Win-Jeunesse is the rank that we call Diamond. Okay, you heard from a double diamond earlier and my man Samson Lee. You heard from another diamond with Paula Pritchard, and as well as myself. And one thing I can tell you is, as a diamond inside of Win-Jeunesse, it is one of the most prestigious positions in all of network marketing. Because first of all, when you achieve this level, the corporate staff, the owners, everybody truly recognizes your leadership, and they treat you the way that you want to be treated inside of a company. But not only that, they created what we call a diamond pool. And this diamond pool, if you look here, gives you the ability to earn shares inside of the company based off of the global sales of the entire company. It has nothing to do with your team. It has nothing to do with your left leg, your right leg, your orthopedic leg, your leg with no toenail. It doesn't matter if it's in Iceland. It doesn't matter if it's in Africa. It doesn't matter if it's in Brazil. It doesn't matter what any of the countries that it's in. What Win-Jeunesse does is they take a percentage of all the global sales and they put it inside of a pool, and every quarter, all of the diamonds and above split this pool. Now, I can't live on this particular Zoom tell you exactly what that number is, because the government will call it enticement. Here's what I will tell you. You want to become a diamond inside of Win-Jeunesse, because it's literally the equivalent of you having shares in a company. And we already told you that we did $5 billion in sales in the past 5 years. You want to become a diamond, but it still gets better. Next slide, please. Now, when you get started inside of Win-Jeunesse, ladies and gentlemen, when you get started at 9 o'clock, you're going to have access to everything at 9:01. We're not going to wait. We don't have to send it off to you. We don't have to program it later. When you get started at 9 o'clock, your website is going to be active at 9:01. You can enroll customers and distributors at 9:02. But Cedrick, what if I'm in Texas? Can I enroll somebody in Canada? Yes. Well, what if I'm in Canada? Can I enroll somebody in Brazil? Yes. Well, what if I'm in Brazil? Can I enroll someone in Iceland? Yes. But what if I don't speak the language? It's okay. When they click the drop-down menu, it's already converted in the language that they need. Hello. We're going to give you your mobile app, your website, multiple different languages, everything that you need to get your business started today. Today. Next slide, please. So here's what I'm going to advise everyone that's paying attention to this particular Zoom here today. Don't hesitate don't meditate, because, you know, every now and then people come through presentations like this and they get excited for a second. They get excited and say, okay, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And I know for a fact that you can do it. But some people tend to get off every now and then and think about it and marinate. But then they fail to realize that if they wake up tomorrow morning, they're going to use some sort of skincare. And I want you to ask yourself a question if you decide not to enroll. Are you getting paid to use that? Maybe you wash your hair. I hope you wash your hair. Are you getting paid to do that? Maybe you went to your local grocery store and realized that they don't have any sanitizer. Wow, I could actually use some of that. Everybody wants some of that. Maybe you go to your local 7-Eleven and realize that everybody in line is buying an energy drink. Maybe you already realize that people want to shave off a few pounds. I mean, even though we're locked down, people still want their summer bodies, because at some point they're going to have to let us off a house arrest. So when you think about all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, when you think about all these things, don't hesitate. Get with the person that invited you here this evening. Get any of your questions answered that were not answered tonight, and get enrolled ASAP. Go through our Getting Started training. Get your mobile app, get your website, and start using the fact that you're at home right now, that you've got all these different tools at your disposal, and you can be sharing a multi-billion-dollar opportunity while changing your life, your family's life, and the lives of millions of people around the world. With that being said, thank you guys for being here. Katie, back over to you.
Hey, Cedrick, thank you so much. And we just want to one more time say thank you to our 3 speakers tonight. So Cedrick Harris, Diamond Director, Paula Pritchard, Diamond Director, and Double Diamond Director, Samson Lee. And for all of you who absolutely loved hearing from them, let's see big, huge 10s in the chat box. Share something that you loved about each one of them, because they are phenomenal, phenomenal leaders. One thing I love again about Win-Jeunesse is that what we know is that we become like the 5 people that we hang around. And so when we get to hang around people like these folks, people who have committed themselves to a discipline, committed themselves to being entrepreneurs, to taking their dreams back, their hopes back, their purpose back, and pushing every single day, because it's not easy, you know? It's when you decide to jump into this lane, you're gonna have challenges, but what's amazing is when you surround yourself with a vision, with products, with people like this, we link arms and we do it together. We know that Win-Jeunesse is a family. We know that we have a huge, huge vision, and we're only going to become #1. That is our goal. So we want to link arms with every single one of you. Have you become part of this vision with us? We ask you that you please get with the person, like Cedrick said, that invited you. Consider starting today. Get started today on these amazing products, on this amazing opportunity. And with that, we want to remind you of what we say to ourselves every single day. 1 team, 1 family, 1 Win-Jeunesse. Thank you, everyone.